So the first time I realized that I was sexually attracted to men was, I'm sorry, I'm rubbing the box with what Lou perceives as my beak. And he really loves that. So I have to do that every now and then. The first time I realized I was physically very, very much attracted to men, like grown-up men, I must have been 11 coming on 12, because I was in first class of high school. And there was this man walking by the school on a hot summer's day in shorts only. And he was a muscular, lean, 20-something-year-old tanned guy who filled out his trunks very well. And it was the first time in my life I had a real sexual response. And before that, I had always been in love with women, mostly because I admired women. I thought they were beautiful and strong. But at that moment, I realized that that had nothing to do with sex. That the only erotic feelings that I had when I fantasized about women were actually that I identified with them and never with the guy I thought about them being with. And it was at the same time my mother told me that I couldn't do ballet because I would label myself gay, and that I was wondering if it was so bad to embrace the thing that everybody had been calling me forever. And it made me cynical in sexual aspect. Of course, I was also still a child, but I had learned to lie about my feelings, about who I thought I was deep inside. I had learned to deny that. I had learned to accept that people rather had me lying about it, although it was clear that I could never fulfill the role of a real macho little guy. And because I didn't do football, when the ball came at me at a certain speed, I'd run away and scream like a girl. And I remember us being in the woods with my mother's family, and my uncles and nephew would always, every now and then, kick a ball at me while I was looking for butterflies and lizards. And there was this one moment that I'll never forget where a football grazed the back of my head and I screamed in a high pitch while running after this little blue butterfly that I had seen. And I was so much more interested in that butterfly. And I heard the way cis hetero guys exhale when they perceive that kind of femininity in a little boy. But then I heard my father whisper at them, biting. He was whispering, and what if he wants to become a biologist rather than be a football player? And I'll never forget, I had just, it didn't really register and it didn't do anything for me, but having a fleeting thought that I'll now never forget. Like, I'm glad my dad doesn't do this. I'm glad my dad doesn't kick footballs at me and doesn't exhale in that way, that disappointed and irritated way, when I respond to that the way I do. And he helped me later on in life. But I turned into a cynical, secretive kid. And my mother hated me for that. She was always accusing me of lying and of cheating and being secretive, which I was. I made sure to keep my secrets outside, hide them in hollow tree trunks and places that were so far away that she would never find them. And Lou wants me to rub his nest. I have to rub his nest. There we go. This is my beak. And I'm rubbing. And that's how he perceives nesting should be done. He's been sold as an egg, so he's no idea what he is and how he's doing these things. I only knew at the moment I saw this man in his shorts that all the guys at school who were calling me gay were technically right. And although I knew I was trans, I knew I was technically gay, and I decided to embrace that. But I knew I couldn't be public about it because my mommy would be very disappointed in me if I was. So I started my double life there. I started looking for men because I liked grown-up men. The guys in my class, there was only one that I loved because he was my friend, and I mistook that at a certain point for real love. I guess I was looking for romance more than just sex, you know, and I thought I could have that with him, but we were both, he was more into girls, and I had to realize that my path was very different. But I started in my double life to follow guys around. Must have had an incredible guardian angel. I'll tell you about that in the next video, because I'm almost going over. But it's weird, my double life started already when I was 11, coming on 12. I had to be really careful not to let anybody know.